Hello everyone, very good morning and welcome to this live session on Quantitative Aptitude for your upcoming Canara Bank PO exam. I hope all of you are in good health and you're fully geared up for this exam which is scheduled for the 23rd of December. Now what are we going to do in the session today is solve some previous year's questions that were asked in the Quantitative Aptitude section, right? I'm sure with only 4 days left for the exam, you don't really need to prepare anything now because you must have already prepared a lot and practiced a lot. But then this session will kind of boost your confidence before you go for the D-Day, right? So I hope all of you are geared up for this session and for the exam that is to come up. The one advice that I would, give to all of you is not to panic, right? With only 4 days left now, you should focus more on, maintaining that confidence and, right state of mind so that you can perform in the exam. Believe me, I have seen a lot of students, a lot of exceptionally good students flunking in these exams because they get worried and they panic during the exam. So it's not just about your knowledge, it is also about your state of mind, right? So you have to have that ability to be able to control your state of mind and, be calm and composed during the exam so that you can give your best shot. Okay, so next 3-4 days that you have, while you can practice one mock paper every day and solve a few questions, but don't overdo it, right? Because that may lead to unnecessary panic before the exam. Okay, and try to keep yourself positive, surround yourself with positive energy and positive things so that you are happy when you go for the exam, you are confident when you go for the exam. All right. Now in the session today, we are going to solve some questions, like I said, which were asked in the earlier exams. Now these questions are all memory based, right? And these were actually asked for the Syndicate Bank PU exam conducted by Manipal last time, right? So I'll present the questions to you and then discuss the solutions. I hope all of you will get good score here. I mean, you'll be able to solve these questions. Let's see how do you perform, right? But irrespective of whether you're able to solve these questions or not, be cool and composed. Okay, so the first question from the session today is on your screens here. This is a question on data interpretation. As you can see, there is some missing data as well, right? So a popular missing DI type of a question. Let's see what is given here. So look at the data. It says the numbers given in the table show the probabilities, right? So he's talking about probabilities here. A player can play one of the sports only. So you've got 6 different players, if you see, Adam, Andrew, Ricky, Damien, Nathan and Clark. And the different sports that we have here are cricket, football, hockey, rugby and swimming. Okay, one very important point given in the question here is a player can play only one of the sports, right? A player can play only one of the sports, which means Adam will be able to play any one of these 5 sports, either cricket or football or hockey or rugby or swimming. Now, what do you understand from this? That one statement is enough for us to find out all the missing values here. How do we do that? See, the total probability that Adam will play a sport will be 1. See, each player will play one of the sports. It's not that they will not play. Everybody will play. So the total probability that Adam plays any one of these sports is 1. That probability of 1 or 1.00 to be specific is distributed across cricket, football, hockey, rugby and swimming. So if I add all these values, it should be equal to 1. Now that's one equation. On that one equation, there's only one missing variable, which you can find out. For example, let's look at the case of Adam, right? The probability that Adam plays cricket is 0.18. That for football is 0.17. For hockey is 0.20. For rugby, it's unknown, right? And for swimming is 0.27. So I can say 0.18 plus 0.17 plus 0.20 plus this missing value plus 0.27 should be equal to 1. All this should add up to 1. Simplify this now. So, forget about the decimals. Let's make it simple. If you forget about the decimals, this is like 100. Always working with integers is easier, right? Remember, very important. And I've mentioned this like a million times already. I'm sure all of you have understood this part. It is how you look at the numbers that makes it easy to calculate. If the same equation that we put here is dealt in terms of decimals, then it becomes difficult. But if you, instead of reading it as 0.18 and 0.17, you say 18 and 17. You know that you're multiplying everything by 100. So left hand side gets multiplied by 100, right hand side gets multiplied by 100 without writing it on paper, right? Mentally, you should absorb all this and do the calculation quickly. So I'll say 18 plus 17 plus 20 plus missing value plus 27 is equal to 100. Find out the unknown value. That makes the calculation really very simple. All right. So 18 plus 17 is 35 plus 20 is 55 plus 27 will be 82. Right. Again, calculation is the key. You should be smart in doing these calculations. So 18 plus 17, 35, 35 plus 20 is 55, 55 plus 27 will be 82. Now 100 minus 82 is 18. So I can say the missing value there is 0.18, right? So that gives us that the question mark here, the missing value for Adam is 0.18. So the probability that Adam will play rugby is 0.18. Likewise, you can find out the probability for the remaining persons as well as and when required. Okay, so that's the approach. You know how to find out the missing values. Okay, let's do it for one more player, maybe for Ricky. Right? What should be the probability that he plays football? 11 plus 15 is 26, 26 plus 25 is 51, 51 plus 23 is 74. So this should be 0.26. Right? You can verify if you want. 11 and 26, 37 plus 15 is 52 plus 25 is 77 plus 23 is 100. Done. So this is how you find out the missing values. Now that we have understood the data, let's look at the 5 questions. Remember, it's all about quick calculations, right? And if there are 5 questions asked in data interpretation, you don't have to solve all 5 of them. Usually it so happens that 1 or 2 of these 5 questions are very complex, right? And you know, it may involve too many calculations. You may not be able to solve it. You may not be able to solve it like within 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So what smart students do is they skip that one question but solve the remaining 4. Okay, so don't assume that you have to solve all 5, or don't go with the target of solving all the 5 questions. Right? Choose the ones that are easy to solve and just go ahead with that. So let me present the questions now and see if you're able to crack this. So the first question for this data interpretation is on your screens now. Let's see how many of you get the answer to this one. You have about 45 seconds. Your clock starts now. Okay, I've got 2 answers already. Shankar Rao and Syed have got 19%. So let's solve this now. Here we go. What does it say? What is the percentage chance? Percentage chance is nothing but probability. Probability in terms of percentage, right? You know that in simple words, probability is nothing but chance. So what is the percentage chance that Andrew will join hockey if every student can only join one sport, right? So what is the probability that Andrew will join hockey? What is the probability that Andrew will join hockey if every student can join only one sport, right? So the condition is that no student can join more than one sport, right? So what is the probability that Andrew will join hockey? Now we have already discussed this. What do? The total probability that Andrew will play is equal to 1. That 1 is distributed across 5 different sports. Find out that for hockey. So 45 plus 20, 65. 65 plus 7 is 72. 72 plus 9 is 81. So this should be equal to 0.19. 0.19. 0.19 is the probability. That in terms of percentage will be option C. So this is a no-brainer. It should take like 5 seconds or 10 seconds for you to arrive at the answer. The next question is on your screens here. What is the probability that either Adam or Andrew will join swimming? What is the probability that either Adam or Andrew will join swimming? Now this is an important question. We have the probabilities of Adam for swimming 0.27 and Andrew for swimming 0.09. The question here is probability that either Adam or Andrew will join swimming. Either Adam or Andrew should join swimming. Remember, a player can play only one of the sports which is known to us already. A player can play one of the sports only. So either Adam should join swimming or Andrew should join swimming. Be careful. 30 seconds for this. Let's see how many of you get it right. Done? Well, I don't see any answer as yet, but let me discuss the solution here. So what do we do? See, what is the probability that either Adam or Andrew will join swimming? So basically, any one of these two guys have to join swimming, right? Any one of these two guys, either Adam should join or Andrew should join. Now, how do you solve this? Probability that either Adam or Andrew joins swimming should be equal to, see, understand, if Adam joins swimming, then Andrew should not join swimming. There are two cases here, right? Probability that Adam joins swimming or probability that Andrew joins swimming. But then remember, when the first person joins swimming, the second one should not join swimming. Both of them cannot be joining swimming together. You're able to follow? Any one of these two have to join. Now, what does it mean? See, it's simple. Probability that Adam joins swimming is 0.27. Probability of Adam joining swimming is 0.27. Probability of Adam not joining swimming, let's say 80 dash, will be equal to what? 1 minus 0.27. Total probability is 1 minus 0.27, meaning he can join any of the remaining 4 sports but not swimming. So that will be 0.73. Probability of Andrew joining swimming is equal to 0.09 as given here. Probability of Andrew not joining swimming is equal to 1 minus 0.09, which is 0.91. Now you don't have to put these steps on paper in the exam. These are only for explanation. Right? When you do it in the exam, you should avoid it. You know what the numbers are, right? So we know the probability of Adam joining swimming, Andrew joining swimming, and probability that they don't join swimming, right? Now what do you have to do for this probability to be arrived at? You have to consider as follows: probability of Adam joining swimming, and ensure that Andrew doesn't join swimming. Both of them cannot be together. Or rule, you know, right? Or means plus. Or probability that Andrew joins swimming and Adam doesn't join swimming. That's how you work on it. You're getting it? Now substitute the values. Again, you don't have to write this step also in the exam. Cut down the number of steps that you put on paper, right? The more you write on paper, the more time it takes. So simplify now. Adam joining swimming is 0.27 multiplied by Andrew not joining swimming is 0.91. 0.91 plus Andrew joining swimming is 0.09. And when Andrew had joined, Adam shouldn't join. This is 0.73. So basically it's like this. If it is 0.27, this is 0.73, this is 0.91. Cross multiply and take the sum. 0.27 into 0.91, 0.09 into 0.73 and add those two. Simplify this. I think the answer comes out to be 0.31. Option D. I'll leave the calculation to you. Calculation is your lookout anyways. I think you have to do a proper calculation because the options are close there. But yeah, it comes out to be option D, 0.31. Right? Syed has marked 0.27, which is incorrect. 0.27 is incorrect. Anybody who's trying to do 0.27 plus 0.09 and say the answer is 0.36 is grossly wrong. You cannot add the two probabilities directly because when one person joins, the other should not join. We have to ensure that. Okay. So 0.31 is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Here's the next one. What is the probability that Adam will join anything but cricket or football? Anything but cricket or football. Now, you have to understand the question, right? I mean, it's more of an English question than probability, I would say, because, you know, anything but cricket or football means he can join anything but not cricket or football. Which guy? Adam. So from the total probability, Subtract the probability that he joins cricket or he joins football. As simple as that. The answer here will be equal to 1 minus probability that he joins cricket minus probability that he joins football. As simple as that. It's a no-brainer. So Adam, what is the probability that he joins cricket? 0.18. Probability that he joins football? 0.17. So your answer should be 1 minus 0.18 minus 0.17. So this is like 35. 100 minus 35 is 65. So 0.65, option D has to be the answer. Should not take more than 10 seconds in the exam. Next question. What is the probability that Clark, Nathan and Damien will all join football? Right? What is the probability that all of these guys join football? All of them will join football. All of them will choose football. Who are the guys? Clark, Nathan and Damien. All three of them have to join football. We know the probabilities anyways. So what do? See, it is only one case. Clark and Nathan and Damien, all three of them have to join football. So this should be equal to probability of Clark joining football into probability of Nathan joining football into probability of Damien joining football. As simple as that. Football for all three. For all three we have to consider the probability for football. So what will that be? 0.06 into 0.13 into 0.11. Now before you do the calculation, look at the options. All the options have got the factor as 858, you see, into 10 power minus 6, into 10 power minus 2, into 10 power minus 5, into 10 power minus 3. If you are good in calculation, you would know that option D and option C cannot be the answers. Because if I take by 100 everywhere, so this becomes like 6 into 10 power minus 2, 13 into 10 power minus 2, 11 into 10 power minus 2. So that's actually 6 into 13 into 11 into 10 power minus 2 into 10 power minus 2 into 10 power minus 2. You understand? Cut down this step, don't write it. What happens? This becomes 10 power minus 6. When the bases are equal and in multiplication form, the powers can be added. So minus 2 minus 2 minus 2 becomes minus 6. So it's clear that it should be 10 power minus 6. Now 6 into 13 into 11 has to be multiplied. If that is 858, then option A is the answer. If that is something else, then option 5 is the answer. Do the calculation. 6 into 13 into 11. 13 into 11 is 143. 143 into 6. 143 into 6 will be 840 plus 3 into 6, 18. 858. Yes. So option A is the answer. Calculation is again your concern. I am not worried about that. You should be worried about that. But the procedure is this. 858 into 10 power minus 6. Look at the next question. What is the probability that either Damien or Nathan will join rugby? Now, quite similar to what we had done earlier, right? Either Damien or Nathan joins rugby. Yeah, numbers are known to us. So how do we solve it? Very simple. Cut down these steps now. Don't write unnecessary steps. Right? Let me just explain how you play with it in the exam. Damien or Nathan for which sport? Rugby. So if it is 0.26, he playing rugby 0.26. He not playing rugby will be 0.74. This fellow playing rugby will be 0.24. Not playing rugby will be 0.76. Cross multiply. So your answer should be 0.26 into 0.76 plus 0.24 into 0.74. Simplify and mark the answer. Right? Calculation again is your concern. I'm sure you will do something about it. I think, if you want to do an approximation or something, you can try, but options are close. You see 0.36 and 0.37 are really close. That way 0.34 and 0.36 are also very close. So be careful. Don't do approximation, because even a little bit of error can lead to an incorrect answer, right? You getting it? So do the calculation. I think calculation you can do. Answer comes out to be option D, 0.37. 0.37. Option D, 0.37. Now let me just explain you one of the calculations. Forget about the decimals there. I think smart people, what they will do is they'll take it as 26 into 76 plus 24 into 74. So for me this is like 49 minus 25, 49 plus 25. A plus B into A minus B. So this becomes 49 square. You understand? 49 square minus 25 square. This is like, again, 49 minus 23. No. 51 minus 25, 51 plus 25. So this will become 51 square minus 25 square. You understand? A plus B into A minus B. I'm applying that technique. You may use some other technique. Whichever is comfortable, just go for it and get the answer. So answer will be 51 square plus 49 square minus 2 into 25 square. So 51 square is how much? 2601. 49 square will be 2401. Yes? How do you do that? 50 minus 1 whole square, right? So 2500 minus 100 plus 1. And this is 625, 2 times of 625. So that's like 1250. Simplify that, divide by 100, you'll get the answer as 0.37. Anyway, calculation can be done in multiple ways. You do the one that is comfortable for you, right? Follow whatever is easy for you to do. Yeah, so with that, this first set on data interpretation is done. It was a kind of question on missing DI, all based on probabilities, right? All of them were based on probabilities. So I think I have the same conclusion as always. You have to be good with numbers. Any question that you solve from quantitative aptitude, the time you take to solve the question depends on your ability to play with numbers there, your ability to do those calculations. So if you are good with that, if you are really quick with that, you'll be able to arrive at the answers faster, which will lead you to solve more number of questions in the exam, and hence your score shoots up. So I think how to score more in quantitative aptitude? Simple. Any time of the day you ask me, any time of the season you ask me, my answer remains the same. You have to be good with numbers. Now this exam is anyway just 3 or 4 days away, so you can't really do much about it if you are already poor in calculation. But for your future attempts or the exams that you're going to take up in future, start preparing from today. Spend 30 minutes every day in doing calculations. I'm sure you'll find some change there, right, in the way you deal with calculations. Let's now move on. I will take up few independent questions. We don't have much time that way. I mean, we want to close it in like 1 hour. So we will solve some arithmetic aptitude based questions, averages, percentages, profit and loss, etc. So I have the next question here. Let's see how many of you get the answer. The average height of 27 persons was recorded as 162 centimeter. If the height of Shreyas was deleted from the observation, the average height was reduced by 1 centimeter. What was Shreya's height? Now I'm sure all of you know how to solve this one. There's nothing complex about it. But how many of you solve it in a smart way is what matters. You have 30 seconds, your clock starts now. Done. 188. Shubham and Shankar Rao. Okay, 188 is what all of you have got. Let's look at the solution. So the average height of 27 persons was recorded as 162 centimeter. If the height of Shreyas was deleted from the observation, the average height was reduced by 1 centimeter. What was Shreya's height? I would not like to solve this question using the regular average formula that most of us use, right? Instead, we will go by this concept of equal distribution, which we have discussed in our videos on averages, right? Let's just follow equal distribution technique to get the answer here. What happens? There are 27 persons in a group. Their average height was recorded as 162. So I can assume that each person here, each of these 27 persons here is 162 centimeter high, right? Their height is 160 centimeter, each one of them. In reality, it may not be the same. Some will be taller than 162, some might be shorter than 162, but average is 162. So we are assuming everybody is 162. Now the height of Shreyas was deleted. Let's say this is Shreyas. Shreya's height was also 162. From the observation, the average height was reduced by 1 centimeter. What was Shreya's height? Now ideally, Shreya's height was deleted means what? Shreyas was asked to leave this group. Shreyas is supposed to go out of the group. So when Shreyas is leaving the group, he should leave with how much? 162. Right? Assumption is that he was also 162. So he should leave with 162. But what happened when he left? The average height was reduced by 1 centimeter. Average height of the group was reduced by 1 centimeter. Meaning everything here became 161, 161, 161 and so on. Remember, this was not available after that. And everything else. Everything else meaning earlier there were 27 people. Right? Count was 27. Now the count is 26 only. Right? So when Shreyas left, he not only left with his 162, but he collected 1 from remaining 26 people. Right? In this group now Shreyas is not available. So from each of the remaining 26 people, he collected 1 centimeter. That's how it reduced, right? Who will take it otherwise? Shreyas is the one who has left it. So we are assuming he has stolen 1 centimeter from everybody else. From how many such people? 26 people. He has taken 1 centimeter. So 162 plus 26 is 188, and that should be Shreya's height. So that's how smart people solve such questions. Again, I'm sure you don't have to write all this in the exam, right? You can just do that mental calculation. 162 plus 1 into 26. 188 is the answer without putting pen on paper. So all of you must have got the answer. 188 is the answer. I can see everybody getting that, but how many of you have solved it using the SMART method is what matters. Moving on, the next question here is on boats and streams. Anil can row at a speed of 7 km per hour in still water to a certain upstream point and back to the starting point in a river which flows at 3 km per hour. Find the average speed of total journey. Find the average speed of total journey. A simple question, right? Anil's speed is 7 km per hour. He can row at 7 km per hour in still water, right? In a pond, in a lake, when the water is not moving. Now he has to go to a certain upstream point and come back to the starting point in a river which flows at 3 km per hour. Meaning the river's speed is 3 km per hour. Find the average speed of the total journey. Find the average speed of the total journey. You know how to get the upstream speed. You also know how to get the downstream speed. Get the average speed. Right? You know the upstream speed and downstream speed. When you're going upstream, you should take the difference of the speeds. When you come downstream, you should take the sum of the speeds. Find out the average of those two speeds. Got it? 40 by 7. All of you smart guys. 40 by 7. Well, I was not expecting everybody would mark 40/7 here. I'm really happy to see that Renuka, Shankar Rao, Sayed, Neeraj, Shubham, all of them have marked 40/7. So what happens? You see the speed upstream is what? Speed of Anil minus speed of the water, which is 4 kilometers per hour. Right? Speed downstream is what? 7 plus 3, 10 kilometers per hour. Right? He's asking us to get the average speed. Now usually in fact many people, they take the average as 10 plus 4 by 2, 3.5. Sorry, 10 plus 4, 14. 14 by 2 is 7 kilometers per hour. And may mark option D as answer. But let me tell you, this is absolute nonsense. 7 kilometers per hour cannot be the average speed. Why is it so? Because average speed is never the average of speeds. Average speed is not the average of speeds. Average speed is total distance by total time. So for you to get the average speed, you should consider total distance by total time. Total distance by total time. That's how you have to solve it. Now what's the total distance? Let's say he has gone d kilometers upstream and he will come d kilometers downstream. Right? He will go to a certain point upstream and back to the starting point. So if he goes d upstream, he has to come down d. So d plus d is the total distance divided by total time. Now time is what? Time to go upstream plus time to go downstream. Yes or no? Total time is upstream time plus downstream time. And what is actually time? Time is distance by speed. So upstream distance d, upstream speed 4, downstream distance d, downstream speed 10. You understand? D plus d, the two distances and the two times. So eventually what do we get? D plus d, 2d by, if you take let's say 20 as LCM, this will be 5 times and this will be 2 times, 5d plus 2d. So that's like 2d into 20 by 7d. D and d gets cancelled. We are left with 40 upon 7. 40/7, option A is the correct answer. So I must appreciate all of you for getting 40/7. I thought at least one would mark 7 kilometers per hour, but good to see that. Next question on your screens here. This is from simple and compound interest, and actually a very simple question. This was in fact one of the questions in the Syndicate Bank PU exam for the postgraduate diploma. Let's see how quickly do you solve it. Got it? Simple interest accrued in 4 years on a principal of rupees 18,000. So time is 4 years. Principal is 18,000, is 1/15th of the principal. What is the rate of simple interest in percentage per annum? Rounded off 2 digits after decimal. Now you know what? For you to solve this question, you don't really need to have the principal amount, right? Because the simple interest in 4 years is how much? 1/15th of the principal. See, let's assume principal is 100 rupees. Principal is always 100%, right? If you go by our concept of percentages. So we always take principal as 100%. So what will be the simple interest for 4 years? 100% by 15. 100% by 15, right? But remember, this was for 4 years. He's asking us to find out the rate of simple interest. Rate of simple interest meaning simple interest for 1 year. How much was it each year? So for simple interest of 1 year, each year, rate of simple interest, what do we do? If for 4 years it is 100 by 15, for each year it will be 100 by 15 into 4. You understand? Divide by 4. This is the interest, total interest. What we've got is total interest. If you divide by 4, you will get the interest per year, which is nothing but the rate of interest. So this becomes 100 by 60. 100 by 60 is how much? 5 by 4. No, sorry, 5 by 3. Right? 20 into 5, 20 into 3, 5 by 3. 5 by 3 is 1.67%. Option A is the answer. Yeah. So don't waste your time doing unnecessary calculations. 2.71. Manish has marked 2.71. Manish, I'm not sure what exactly did you do there. 1.67 is the answer, and you should solve this without using pen and paper. Okay, next one here is on allocations and mixtures. Again, a straight question. Let's see if you crack it quickly. In a 40 liters mixture, acetic acid and sodium acetate are in the ratio of 3:1. Find the amount of sodium acetate solution to be added to make the ratio 2:3. Apply the allocation rule. Wouldn't take much time. $35, Shubham, Syed and Shankar Rao. They've got 35 as the answer, option E. Okay, in a 40 liter mixture, acetic acid and sodium acetate, these are the two components. The ratio is 3:1. Find the amount of sodium acetate. You see the second component, right? Find the amount of sodium acetate to be added to make the ratio 2:3. First and foremost, I'll just convert this to percentages. You understand what are we going to do? Let's find out how much is sodium acetate in the first mixture. Mixture, yes. Sodium acetate in the second mixture, and what is the sodium acetate in the total mixture? When you take the cross differences, when you take the differences like this in this fashion, you will get the quantity in the first one is to quantity in the second one. That's the allocation rule, right? Now, without doing this, you should directly put the numbers. So how does it look like? See, what is the concentration of sodium acetate in the first mixture? 1 out of 4. 1 part out of total 3 plus 1, 4 parts. 1 out of 4 is 25%. Yes or no? What is the concentration of sodium acetate in the second mixture? 100%. Why? Why are we taking it as 100%? Because we are adding pure sodium acetate. You understand? The first one is a mixture of acetic acid and sodium acetate, where the ratio is 3:1. So I can say the acetic acid concentration is 3/4 and sodium acetate is 1/4. So we have taken 1/4, which is 25% concentration. In the second one, see, we are adding sodium acetate, pure sodium acetate, which means 100% is sodium acetate. There is no acetic acid here. So second one is 100%. Now when you mix these two, you get a new solution, which will have a ratio of 2:3. 2:3 meaning what? This will be 40% and 60%. You understand? 40% is to 60%. Like this is 75% is to 25%. This is 40 is to 60. Take the cross differences. 100 difference 60 is 40. 25 difference 60 is 35. So if the first one has got 40 parts, second one should have 35 parts. I actually know that the first one has got 40 liters. So if this is 40 liters, how much should the second one be? 35 liters. Same ratio, right? So 35 liters, option E will be the answer. A very simple one, should not take more than 20 seconds. Try this. Profit and loss. A shopkeeper sells 25 articles at 45 per article after giving 10% discount and gains 50% profit. If the discount is not given, what is the profit percentage? Again, just play with numbers. Remember, you know that number of articles here doesn't make a difference. Forget about the number of articles. A shopkeeper sells something at 45 rupees after giving a 10% discount. So if the selling price is 45 and the discount was 10%, can I say the marked price was 50? Yes or no? On 50 rupees, when you give 10% discount, you get 45 rupees. So I know that the mark price is 50. But then when he sold at 45 rupees, the profit that he made was 50%. Profit was 50%. Can you find out the cost price? Cost price here should be 30 rupees. I am doing mental calculation. I am sure you also can do it. 30 rupees. What is 50% of 30 rupees? 15 rupees. So 30 plus 15, 45. You're getting it? Or in another way, if the profit is 50%, selling price will be 150%. We have discussed all this in our videos, right? I'm sure you have followed the videos, and hence you should follow the solution as well. If the profit is 50%, selling price will be 150%. So that 150% is 45 rupees. Cost price will be 100%. So if 150% is 45, 100% will be 30. Now with this cost price, he says if discount is not given, what will be the selling price? Selling price will be equal to mark price. The new selling price, let's say, S dash. So the cost price remains 30, cost price will not change, but the selling price now is 50. Why is it 50? Because discount is not given. Discount is not given meaning mark price is equal to selling price, or selling price is equal to mark price. What is the profit? So if you take 30 and 50, how much is the profit? The profit will be 20 rupees on 30 rupees. Profit percentage is asked us to find out. How much is that? You're earning 20 rupees profit, right? 50 minus 30, 20 rupees is the profit on an investment of 30 rupees, on a costing of 30 rupees. So 2 by 3 is the profit. 2 by 3 is what percentage? 66.66. But then here you see we have got 200 by 3. So maybe you choose option C as the answer. That's a better one, right? The best answer here is 200 by 3%. Option C. 66 is an approximate answer, right? It will be actually 66.66, right? 66.66. We can take it as 200 by 3 here. Next question. Now this is an interesting one. Let's see how do you guys work on this. Gopal went to a fruit market with certain amount of money. With this money, he can either buy 50 oranges or 40 mangoes. He retains 10% of the money for taxi fare. If he buys 20 mangoes, then the number of oranges he can buy is. Let's see how do you solve this. Done. 20. We have Murlidhar, Shankar. Shankar is at 200. Okay, 220. So two of you have got 20. Let's solve this now. What do we do? See, the question says Gopal went to a fruit market with certain amount of money. With this money, he can either buy 50 oranges. He can buy either 50 oranges or 40 mangoes. So the amount that he has, see, understand, the amount that he has is equivalent to 50 oranges. The worth of that amount is equivalent to 50 oranges. Or it is equal to 40 mangoes. Yes or no? He cannot buy 50 oranges and 40 mangoes. He can buy 50 oranges or 40 mangoes. So whatever he has is equal to that. But then he retains 10% of the money for taxi fare. He retains 10%. So he has only 90% of the amount to spend now. You're getting it? He has kept 10% for taxi. So only 90% can be spent. If 90% can be spent, meaning what? The worth has become 90%. So the number of oranges should also become 90%. What is 90% of 50? 45. So he can either buy 45 oranges or he can buy 36 mangoes. Similar calculation, right? Consider 90 percentages. 90% of 50 and 90% of 40. What did he do? He has bought 20 mangoes. He has bought 20 mangoes. Then the number of oranges he can buy is. See, understand, He has bought 20 mangoes, means what is the worth that he has spent? Out of 36 mangoes that he could buy, he has bought 26 mangoes. Sorry, out of 36 mangoes that he could buy, he has bought 20 mangoes. How much has been spent already? You understand? Let's say I have 36 rupees. I can buy 36 mangoes, but I have bought 20 mangoes. So how much have I spent? 20 rupees. 20 rupees out of 36 rupees, right? That's how we are considering it. So we have spent how much? 5/9 of the value. Out of whatever remaining amount, 5/9 has been spent. What is remaining? Remaining amount is 4/9. Remaining is 4/9. In that 4/9, how many oranges will come? In 90% the amount, we can get 45 oranges. If only 4/9 of that amount is left out, how many oranges can you buy? 5 into 4, 20 oranges. I mean, just based on fractions and all. No need to write all these steps here. No need to write all these steps. The amount is equal to 50 oranges, 40 mangoes. 90% of the amount will be equal to 45 oranges, 36 mangoes. He has bought 20 mangoes. Now forget about this 90% stuff. Only 90% is going to be there. So out of the total amount that we have, we could buy either 45 oranges or 36 mangoes. This fellow here has bought 20 mangoes. So 20 mangoes has been bought out of 36 mangoes that he could buy. 5/9 of the amount has been spent. Remaining is only 4/9. In 4/9, how many oranges will you get? 4/9 into 45. 4/9 into 45 is 20 oranges. So option C will be the answer. Alright. Next question. This is on time and work. Let's see. Time and work. One girl or two boys or three women can do a piece of work in 88 days. One girl or two boys or three women, right? Pay attention. Or can do a piece of work in 88 days. Now one girl, one boy and one woman, right? One girl, one boy and one. So basically one girl and one boy and one woman will do it in how many days? Will do it in how many days? Again, a simple equation to be put there. 30 to 40 seconds should be enough. Let's see how many if you get it right. Done? 48. Yes? How do we do this? See, one girl can do it in 88 days. Two boys can do that work in 88 days. Three women can do it in 88 days. Three separate groups actually. The first group has got one girl. She can do it in 88 days. Second group has got two boys. They can do it in 88 days. The third group has got three women. They can also do it in 88 days. So, one girl, one boy and one woman. See, one girl, what is her capacity? 1/88. One girl can do it in 88 days. Her capacity is 1/88. Two boys can do it in 88 days. So one boy will do it in how many days? Double the number of days. So what is a boy's capacity? 1/88 into 2. One boy's capacity is 1/88 into 2. Similarly, what is one woman's capacity? 1/88 into 3. Three women can do it in 88 days. One woman will do it in 88 into 3 days. Remember, number of persons and time taken are inversely related to each other, right? If the strength decreases, the number of days would increase. So if three women can do it in 88 days, one woman will do it in 88 into 3 days. So her capacity, one woman's capacity will be 1/88 into 3. So these are the three capacities that we have. We have to find out if all these three people work together, how much time will they take? Simple. Find out the total capacity. 1 by 88 plus 1 by 88 into 2 plus 1 by 88 into 3. Simplify. 1 by 88 is common, let's say, right? So we'll have like 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. I mean, you could have cut this step, not required. I can directly write this. So 1 by 88 into, what's the LCM here? 6 is the LCM. So 6 plus 3 plus 2. 6 plus 3 plus 2 is 11. 11 goes how many times here? 8 times. So 1 by 8 into 1 by 6, 1 by 48. So the total capacity of all these 3 people together is 1 by 48. How many days will they take? 48 days. Right? Simple. Next one here. Ratios. An employer reduces the number of his employees in the ratio of 9:8 and increases their wages in the ratio of 14:15. If the original wage bill was 18,900, find the ratio in which the wage bill is decreased. Got it? Simple. The wage is what? The total wage is what? It depends on the number of employees into the wage per employees. This is the total wages, let's say, right? Into the wage per employee, number of employees into wage per employee, right? Per employee's wage. You getting it? So the employees have changed in what ratio? 9:8. The wages have increased in what ratio? 14:15. That's it. The product will give you the ratio in which the wages will change. Total wages will change. This 18,900 is of no use. Don't even try to use it. Not required, because I know the change, the way the employees have changed, meaning the number of employees have changed, and I also know the rate at which the ratio in which the wages have changed. So the wage bill, total wage is nothing but wage bill. That's what he's asking us to find, right? What is the wage bill? Total wage bill. How does it change? Since it's a product of these two, you take the product of those two ratios. What happens? This is 3 times and 5 times. This is 4 times and 7 times. This will change in the ratio of 21 on 20. Yes. So earlier, if it was 21 rupees total wage bill, now it will be 20 rupees. So the ratio in which the wage bill is decreased is 21 to 20. 21 to 20, option B. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Next question. This again, I think is straight. The ratio of the monthly income of Trupti, Pallavi and Komal actually, right, is 141 is to 172 is to 123. If Trupti's annual income is whatever 3,38,400, what is Komal's annual income? We know the ratios. Find out the annual income. Okay, he says in some cases monthly income is used, while in others annual income is used. So ratio is given for monthly income. Question is asked for annual income. But then understand, if the monthly income ratio is 142 is to 172 is to 123, what will be the annual income ratio? 141 into 12 is to 172 into 12 is to 123 into 12. And since that 12 is common, it gets cancelled across. So annual or monthly, the ratio is same. It's not going to change, right? It's the same time for all three of them. So annual income ratio also will be the same. So we are talking about Trupti and Komal, right? 141 upon 123 should be equal to, what is Trupti's annual income? 338,400 divided by what? Cross multiply. This is like a cakewalk. It's a sitter. I mean 141 upon 123 equals to 338,400 upon what? Cross multiply to get the answer. I guess it should be option D. I mean, see, it's obvious that it has to be less than 338,000, right? So option 1 and option 2 are anyway ruled out. Yes or no? If 141 corresponds to 338,400, 123 which is lesser than 141 should correspond to something lesser than 338,400. Right? So it should be less than 338,000. So option A and option B are ruled out. It could be C or D or E, of course. Calculation anyway needs to be done. Somebody has just asked what is the level of Canara Bank PO exam. Well, like I said, this is a syndicate bank PO paper. Questions chosen from syndicate bank PO paper, which was held last time. Now we can expect similar questions, or we can expect even higher difficult, more difficult questions, or even easier questions. Anyway, the next one is on your screen here. Let's see if you get it right. This could be the level. Look at the question. 6 lines. Reading and understanding the question itself will take a good amount of time. Done? Well, let's take it up. I'm sure it's not very or as straight as some of the questions that we have solved so far. So Ram has organized his birthday party. There are 7 people, including Ram, sitting in a line, not all of whom have the same number of chocolate with them. Right? Not all of whom have the same number of chocolates with them. If Ram is at first and distributes his chocolate to the remaining 6 of his friends such that he doubles the respective numbers of chocolate, then he will be left with 4 chocolates. But if Rakesh, who is sitting next to Ram, takes away 2 chocolates from each of the remaining 6 friends, then he will be left with 3 chocolates less than the number of chocolates that Ram initially had. What is the total number of chocolates that are there with the 3rd person to the 7th person? Now, this is really an interesting one. It all lies in converting these long and lengthy statements into equations, right? So what happens? There are 7 people in a straight line, right? The first person is Ram, second person is Rakesh, and then there is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th person. You don't have to do all this drama in the exam. Just for the sake of explanation. So these are the 7 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's assume Ram has got R chocolates, Rakesh has got K chocolates, and these 5 together, let's say, have got sum of their chocolates is S, right? So Ram has got R chocolates, Rakesh has got K chocolates, and the remaining 5 persons together, the 3rd to 4th, 7th person have got S chocolates. Now that is what the question requires. So what is the value of S? What does the question say? What is the total number of chocolates that are there with 3rd person to 7th person? Implies S is equal to what? Yes or no? We have to find out what is S. What is S equivalent to, right? How do we solve this? Read the statements. So Ram has organized a birthday party. There are 7 people including Ram sitting in a line. Not all of them have same number of chocolates. Now, if Ram at first distributes his chocolate to the remaining 6 of his friends such that he doubles the respective number of chocolates, then he will be left with 4 chocolates. So if Ram distributes his chocolates in the remaining 6 of his friends, meaning S plus K, in the remaining 6 of his friends, he will be left with 4 chocolates. Now, framing that equation is very, very important. Can I say R is equal to K plus S plus 4? Yes, I can. See, Ram has distributed chocolates in the remaining 6 friends such that he doubles the respective number of chocolates. How many chocolates that these 6 friends have got together? K plus S. These 6 friends together, from Rakesh to the 7th person, have got K plus S chocolates. Ram distributed the chocolates such that he has doubled their chocolates. Meaning, he has distributed how many chocolates? K plus S chocolates. To K plus S people, to people who had K plus S chocolates, for you to double their chocolates into 2. You double their number of chocolates, right? So which means what? They already had K plus S. Ram has given them K plus S. This was originally what they had. Ram has given K plus S. And still he was left with 4 chocolates. So can I say Ram's total is equal to K plus S plus 4? Yes. That's equation number 1. Total chocolates of Ram is K plus S plus 4. Look at the second statement. But if Rakesh, who is sitting next to Ram, this guy, takes away 2 chocolates from each of the remaining friends, he will be left with 3 chocolates less than the number of chocolates that Ram initially had. So meaning Rakesh, who had K chocolates, takes away 2 chocolates from each of the remaining 6 friends. Meaning he will take 12 chocolates total from the remaining 6 friends. So that count, K plus 12, will be equal to R minus 3. This is the second equation. Yes or no? Rakesh, who is sitting next to Ram, takes away 2 chocolates from each of the remaining 6 friends. If he takes 2 chocolates from each of the remaining 6 friends, these 5 plus Ram, 2 each, 2 into 6, 12. What will be his total number of chocolates? K plus 12. He had K already, he now has got 12 more. So if he does this, he will be left with 3 chocolates less than the number of chocolates that Ram initially had. Ram initially had R chocolates, R minus 3. He will be left with 3 chocolates less than what Ram had. Now what is he asking us to find out? He's asking us to find out S from these 2 equations. Now actually 2 equations and 3 variables cannot be solved. We've got 3 variables, R, K, S. 3 variables in 2 equations we can't really solve, but then try and do something. I mean, cannot be determined could be the answer, but just see if it is actually possible, because R and K together can be taken as one variable. For example, what happens if I take it as R minus K? R minus K is equal to S plus 4. From this equation, what is R minus K? R minus K from this equation, R minus K is equal to 12 plus 3. So now if you observe, if I consider R minus K as one variable, there are 2 variables only. R minus K is one variable, S is the other variable. 2 variables in 2 equations, can you solve? Yes. Basically, it means S plus 4 is equal to 12 plus 3. So S will be equal to what? 15 minus 4, 11. That's the answer. That's what we wanted. S is equal to what? 11. Option B will be the answer. So what looks to be like a lengthy question, 6 lines, 7 lines, is actually very easy to solve. It all depends on understanding what is given there in that English language and writing an equation out of it. So you write the equations and then solve them. And that way every question from quantitative aptitude is about the same, right? Convert the English equations into mathematical equations, English statements into mathematical equations, and then play with those. and during that process you may have to do some simplifications which will involve calculations. So if you are good in calculation, you will get the answer a little faster. Yeah. Well, the time is as such up 12:15 already, but let's quickly take up one question which is a kind of case study. It's a 5 marks question that was asked in the Syndicate Bank PO exam, and we are using those questions as reference for Canara Bank PO, just additional practice, right? I don't mean to say that similar questions or same questions would be asked, but it's just that we refresh some concepts. So let's take a case study or a caselet where some data is given, raw data is given. You have to make some fine data out of it and then answer the questions asked, right? So the question is on your screens here. Try this now. This will be the last question for the day. Let's see how many of you understand this, make a table out of it, and then answer the 5 questions. He's talking about a survey done on some students of schools A and B. Once you make the table out of it, I can present the questions to you all. Alright, so I think you must have done it already. Let's work on this together now. What happens? A survey was done on some of the students of school A and B. Total selected students were 750. Don't try to write equations and all. Directly make a table out of it, because writing those equations and then solving will take a lot of time. Right? So total selected students are 750. Meaning in A and B together, students are 750. The ratio of students selected from school A and school B are in the ratio 7:8. So basically, if you divide that 750 in the ratio of 7:8, you will get the number of students from school A and those from school B. So what do we do now? Let's I don't know what are the categories here. He's talking about sports, right? Basketball, swimming, yeah. Oh, football is also there. Yeah. So basically, some breakup of these students into different categories. So let's say this is school A and school B, right? What is the total of school A and school B? Total of school A and school B 750, right? Total of these two schools is 750. But then the ratio is 7:8. They're in what ratio? 7:8 ratio. So A is to B is, this is not the way you write it. I'm just trying to save space. 7:8. You understand what I mean, right? A is to B, 7 is to 8. So if you divide 750 in the ratio of 7 is to 8, divide 750 in the ratio of 7 is to 8, what happens? 15 parts, right? Each part would be 50. So this is 350 and 400. 350 plus 400 is 750, and they are in the ratio 7 is to 8. So I can now actually conclude that A has got 350 students and B has got 400 students. And these calculations are important. A has got 350 total, B has got 400 total, right? All right. Now, the ratio of boys and girls from school A is 3 is to 2. Okay, again, boys and girls in school A. So out of this 350, you have to divide them in the ratio of 3 is to 2. Boys is to girls is how much? 3 is to 2. Boys is to girls in school A is 3 is to 2. So divide 350 in the ratio of 3 is to 2. 70 into 3, 210 and 140, right? So I can say 210 boys and 140 girls, right? Total 750 students, 350 in school A, 400 in school B. Among this 350, 210 are boys and 140 are girls based on this ratio, right? Now I think there are different games here. Again, boys and girls. So the table is going to look a little clumsy, but I'm sure we don't worry about the handwriting part here. Basketball, swimming, and let's say football. These are the 3 categories. What about the ratio of boys and girls in school B, by the way? Boys and girls in school B, that's not given. Only boys and girls breakup for school A is given. For school B, it's not given there. Anyway, look at this. 2/3 of the boys from school A play basketball. 2/3 of the boys from school A. How many boys are there in school A? 210. What is 2/3 of 210? 140. 140 boys play basketball. So I'll do one thing. Let's break the cells into 2 parts. Each of these. You know, boys and girls, boys and girls, boys and girls. I don't want to draw another table basically. Yeah, lazy fellow. So 2/3 of these boys from school A play basketball. 2/3 of 210. 2/3 of 210 is 140. 140 play basketball. So remaining 70 boys will play swimming and football. Okay. This is, understand, this is the idea. For those who are not able to follow, boys and girls. That's what we are doing. Total 200 boys play basketball. Okay, total 200 boys play basketball. Total boys playing basketball is 200. So if 140 are here, remaining 60 should be here. Just fill up the gaps, right? If 140 boys from school A play basketball, 60 boys from school B should play basketball. So that total becomes 200. 3/5 of the girls from school A like swimming. 3/5 of the girls from school A. How many girls are there in school A? 140. What is 3/5 of 140? 28 into 3, 84. 84 girls from school A like swimming. So school A is this, swimming is this, and 84 girls. Write it here, not on top. 84 girls, right? Like swimming. 1/3 of the boys from school B like swimming. 1/3 of the boys from school B like swimming. Now, how many boys are there in school B? We don't know. We know that total there are 400 students in school B, but what is the breakup of boys and girls? We have no idea, right? So let's hold that. Let's hold this part, right? 1/3 of the boys from school B like swimming. We'll come back to that later. Total 130 students from school A like swimming. Total 130 students from school A like swimming. See, this should be 130. Total of these two should be 130. From school A, 130 people like swimming. Out of 130, if 84 are girls, how many should be boys? 30 plus 16, 46 should be boys. Right? This total should be 130. 1/4 of the girls of school A play basketball. 1/4 of the girls of school A play basketball. How many girls are there in school A? 140. 1/4 of 140 is what? 35. 35 girls play basketball. 35. Okay. Total 100 students from school B like swimming. Total 100 students from school B like swimming. 100 students from school B like swimming. 100 from school B. So this total should be 100. School B's total should be 100. It says 2/5 of the girls from school B play basketball. 2/5 of the girls from school B play basketball. 2/5 of the girls from school B play basketball. Yeah, but the challenge is we do not know how many are girls and boys in school B. So let's do the second reading. Oh, I missed this point. I'm so sorry. I think there are total 450 boys altogether. We did not read this. Oh. This will solve the problem. So let me do the other part now. There are total 450 boys, right? Understand, 750 has already been divided in A and B. Now there are total 450 boys altogether. So if 210 boys, let me do the breakup of school B now. What happens? Total 450 boys. Out of 450, if 210 are in school B, school A, remaining 240 should be in school B. You're able to follow? Total 450 boys. If 210 are in school A, 450 minus 210, 240 should be in school B. Now also, out of 750 students, if 450 are boys, 300 are girls. Out of 750 students, if 450 are boys, remaining 300 are girls. And out of those 300, 140 are in school A. So remaining 160 should be in school B. You getting it? How did we get this 140? This calculation was 450 minus 210. What was this calculation? 160. 300 girls are there totally. How do we know 300 girls are there totally? Because total students 750, 450 are boys. So remaining 300 girls. 300 minus this 140 from school A will give you 160 in school B for this one. Now I think we can fill the gaps. So read this part. 1/3 of the boys from school B like swimming. 1/3 of boys from school B. 1/3 of 240. What is 1/3 of 240? 80. 80 boys like swimming. Total 130 students from school A like swimming. That is done. 1/4 of the girls of school A play basketball. That also is done. Total 100 students of school B like swimming. Total 100 students of school B like swimming. So this is 80. This should be 20. Yes or no? Then 2/5 of the girls from B play basketball. 2/5 of B play basketball. 2/5 of 160. 2/5 of the girls from school B play basketball. What is 2/5 of 160? 1/5 is 32. 2/5 will be 64. 64 girls play basketball. Rest of the students like to play football. Remaining students like to play football. Remaining students like to play football. That's it. So fill the gaps now. 4 values. Remaining students like to play football. How do we get that? See, how many boys are there in school A? 210. 140 play basketball. 46 play swimming. Are in swimming. So 140 plus 46 is how much? 140 plus 46 is 186. Out of 210, if 186 are already in these two categories, remaining 14 plus 10, 24 should play football. Likewise, total how many girls are there in school A? 140. Out of 140, we have got 35 plus 84 already here. So 35 plus 84 is how much? 119. So remaining 21 girls should play football. Right? Now come to school B. How many boys are there in school B? 240. Out of 240, 60 and 80. 140 are in these two sports. So remaining 100. 240 minus 140. 100. Total girls are how many? 160. Out of 160, 64 and 20 are here. 64 and 20 is how much? 84. So remaining will be 60 plus 16, 76. You understand? 76 plus 64 is 140. 140 plus 20 is 160. Yes. Done. So those are the numbers. That's it. Once you know the numbers, you can answer the question. So we know number of boys in each sport from school A, number of girls in each sport from school A, number of boys in each sport from school B, and number of girls in each sport from school B. Now, questions can be answered easily. Difference between number of students playing basketball from school A and number of boys playing football from school B. Both the values are there, take the difference. Simple question. What is the number of girls from school A who like football? Straight answer. Number of boys playing basketball from school A is how much percentage more than number of boys playing football from school B? X is what percentage more than Y? You know both X and Y, do the calculation, right? This is, let's say, X. This is Y. What should be the answer? X minus Y by Y into 100. Standard percentage type question. X is what percentage more than Y? X minus Y by Y into 100. What is the average number of students playing football from A and B? You know the average. How to calculate the average? Total of A, total of B divided by 2. Last question. Number of girls from school A who like swimming is what percentage of the number of boys from playing football from school A? Again, X is what percent of Y? X is what? Number of girls who like swimming from A. What is Y? Number of boys who like football from A. X is what percentage of Y? X by Y into 100. This should be X by Y into 100. Remember, this is X minus Y by Y into 100. X is what percentage more than Y. This is X is what percentage of Y. So straight X by Y into 100. I'm sure you'll put the numbers, do the calculations and mark the answers there. Calculations anyway, your lookout. And that will give you 5 marks. 5 marks in about 3 4 minutes maximum, right? See, reading that data and making that table would take about 2.5 to 3 minutes maximum. Once you're done with that, answering those 5 questions will take another 1 minute altogether. Simple questions, right? 2 of those questions are directly about picking up numbers. So straight answers are there. In the other 3 questions, maybe you have to do some calculation. X minus y by y into 100, x by y into 100, or average, and things like that. Yeah. Anyway, the story is the same. Calculation is the key, right? The best shortcut for scoring more or to score more in quantitative aptitude of Canara Bank PO exam or any exam is to be good with calculations. If your numerical skills are good, or if your numerical skills are excellent, then you will definitely be able to score more. So just keep practicing on numbers, irrespective of the exam. Every day you have to spend about 30 minutes on numbers, and that will up your game. So all the best for your Canara Bank PO, which is on 23rd, just about 4 days now. Don't worry much about it. Maybe solve one mock paper every day, and